Waters and Mostert, and they go at it off the front row of the grid, and they are side by side. Dead set drag strip material, and Cam's got the inside running and will prevail out the other side of turn 2. Mostert wants to get down there with every single thing he's got, and that's exactly what he tries to do now. Waters is bang down the inside, crisscross on the other side. Great motor racing. Waters through. Will Davison through.
This is the best racing we've seen this year.
Unless they're adopting 3 stops as a strategy. We'll see what it looks like for the Monster Energy car that had decent margin and decent pace. And here we go, look at this, tight, very tight. So this little arm wrestle resumes, exactly what we want.
Exactly.
Litres of fuel have gone on for Waters to maintain a track position, so the engineering group in there would have been factoring that, because Chaz would have got a gain from the fresh tyres, therefore the undercut that we talk about. Mark Larkin's done many stories on it, raised it also in the Hino Hub, so they will have been aware of the fact that he was on the march, and there he is. But remember, there's a 5-lap difference in the age of the tyres here, but what a great battle that's unfolding between them as Davison and Brock also come into the lane. And what Mostert wants to do here, with all of his powers, is get down there with every single thing he's got, and that's exactly what he tries to slingshot and do now, and has been able to achieve it. They make awkward contact, and as that pushed the guard onto that left rear tyre, that was very, very awkward. This is starting to liven up once again. We've talked about strengths, weaknesses, backing off, clear air, temperature effect. Chaz is at the back end of the life of these tyres. This is where the younger tyres for Waters is valuable. He thought about it. He was fully brake and grid limited by the time he got down to turn 2. That was pretty close to awkward contact, but they both managed to get away with it. 37 laps remaining. This is the battle for the lead. Race 13 of the championship. Nothing in it between Mostert and Waters. And there's a pit lane incident under investigation for Cam Hill at the moment. The stewards have just noted as well. Eyes up on this one though. Mostert, no space on the outside. Cam had to think about it, whether or not he was going to overtake. Chaz runs slightly wide here. That could be costly. This could open the opportunity for the run down the inside. Here we go, turn 9 and 10. Waters incentivised. Maybe a kilometre an hour, 2, just slightly better, and he uses it to his advantage. Bang, down the inside for the lead. Crisscross on the other side. Out shoots Mostert. Great motor racing between these two guys as Chazzy fires one back and gets to the lead. Cam up on the outside at the final corner. Quality supercar racing between Waters and Mostert as Mozzie comes out the other side with the lead, perhaps only for just a moment, because there's nothing much left in those tyres on his car.
That is as good as it gets. That exchange is absolutely outstanding driving from both parties.
Oh, lock up on Waters at the critical moment, and he opens the door again, but can he hang on? He's got a tiny grip advantage. He tries to close the door. There's a tiny overlap, and Cam recognises it. Another great exchange through turn 3. These guys are super pros. What a terrific battle between Mostert and Waters. Have a go at the next car in the queue, because Will Davison is now 3/4 of a second behind, and he is right in the middle of this.
This is the best racing we've seen this year. They have absolutely turned it on, Mostert and Waters, and whilst they've been playing those games, Will Davison has made an immense amount of ground. Another late move, and he only just gets it stopped there by Cam Waters.
Now, Davison could be the ultimate beneficiary if this gets too ugly and gets too willing. Davison up on the outside, tries to round him up into a next to impossible position. This is the battle for the lead. First, second, third, Mostert, Waters, Davison. Chazzy getting to the end of the tyre line. The car tucked in behind Waters has got slightly younger tyres. Can he use them now to advantage under brakes, and does Davison go with him? Waters through. Will Davison trying to squeeze through. What an exchange.
fantastic motor racing. 3 different Ford teams, 3 of the very best operators battling as hard as you can possibly battle. And Waters now with that little reprieve, 0.7 of a second up the road.
This is having the effect of bringing everybody back together. The split all the way back down to our championship leader, Will Brown, is just 8 seconds. This is far from over with 35 laps remaining. What a battle we've got on our hands in Townsville this afternoon, and a bit of sunshine beginning to peek through, so maybe now no threat of rain. We talked about it early. Here's the view from Chaz Mostert. Was leading, is now third.
And I reckon he's got to actually make a call on the stop, because he's got a couple of seconds over the others with fuel. You need to be able to use it to give yourself the track position.
Of this lead group of 3 cars, Will Davison's is the youngest tyre set by 1 lap over Cam Waters.
We've got 34 to go. We'll work on a bit of a plan here.
We've got a bit of a plan here, says Sam Scafidi to Chaz Mostert. Thomas Randall in the background, the Castrol entry into 4th position. He's playing into the game here as well. You're not going to believe what I'm going to tell you next, folks. It is raining.
Oh, check those clouds.
It is raining out there. And that dark cloud that we saw a moment ago is actually dumping some moisture on this racetrack. Now, if you want some supercar action, just add water, because this has already been a nail-biter and a ripper this afternoon, and it's about to get a whole lot weirder, Jack.
I just quickly spoke to Tom Randall's engineer and asked if there was anything possibly wrong with the car. They seem to think it was just a lock-up. And I can confirm it's definitely raining here, guys. I've got water on the glasses.
Thanks, mate. We'll get some tissues down there for you. Now, the race director declares the track wet, which just means that officially you can come in and put a wet tyre on. We spoke about it in the Hino Hub earlier. The crossover number we think's about 1 minute and 23 seconds. It's not just wet, it's hammering down there at turn 6 at the moment, and they will be creeping along on a Dunlop slick tyre. They've got residual temperature in the tyre at the moment, but that will not last long. This is going to be a battle to keep the cars on the racetrack. What a story this afternoon in Townsville.
What do you do?
What do you do? Do you hang in there? Can you keep the thing on the island, or do you need to bring it in for a Dunlop wet? And certainly nobody wants to blink at this stage.
But it's sunny
There's
there.
not much rain around, mate. There's not much around.
So do you take a punt and stay on the slick tyre? They are going to take a punt and stay on the slick tyre. And we're watching some of the absolute best in the world in these conditions, because Mostert, we know, is like that. Waters is extraordinary in these conditions.
And with warmth in the tyre and the drivers fully connected to and understanding their cars and the road condition, they'll hang on to the bitter end. They'll need to see a huge drop in lap speed before they make the change. Last lap through, 19.9 for Mozzie, 19.8 for Randall, 18.8 for Waters, to your point, and a 19 flat for Will Brown, 4th position, and Will playing into the game here. The margins are condensing, the rain is falling. We've got 10 laps to go in Townsville. It's lucky race number 13 in the Repco Supercars Championship, and these blokes are holding on to these things and wrestling a ton and a half around this racetrack.
And you've got to stop the paint. You can see the line, the difference there that Mostert and Randall and Waters were using on the exit of turn 6. If you make the paint, you make the grass, you make the fence. So they were doing a very conservative exit job to stay off the painted line and stay off that complete painted curve. Randall now putting pressure on.
Now, this also dramatically changes the survivability of the tyres at the back end of their line. They have a little cool out, they might get a breather, they might now survive better. Waters is right on the back of his teammate. Only a heartbeat to go. Randall was vying for the lead. He might now be under threat for second. 9 laps remain in Townsville. Mostert, Randall, Waters, Brown, LeBrock, Payne, Feeney, Davison down the 8th now, Heimgartner and Courtney. And here comes Cam down the inside, P2.
That was bold. He was a long way back. He just fired straight down there. He obviously knew it was his teammate, but at that point there, he was committed to it. If Thomas turned in, he was going to fire him off the road.
to the beginning in the battle between Mostert and Waters. It reignites exactly as it did off the line at the start of this motor race much earlier this afternoon. Have a look at those numbers in the graphic at the bottom of the screen. Have a look up in the top left-hand corner and see how many laps we've got to go. Have a look in the background at the black sky. That weather did come in from the southeast despite the sunshine that we saw. And things have changed pretty dramatically for a bunch of people. Notably, Will Davison's car has not adapted to those conditions at all, having gone down now into position number 8. Here's our race lead. Mostert, 9/10 of a second from Waters. Randall on screen for Castro. Just lurking in the background in the shadows at the moment is Will Brown. There he is. Our championship leader has done a mighty job for position number 13 on the grid today. He's a factor. He may well get onto the podium. You would not have thought that possible earlier in the day. There they are, right in front of us with 8 to go. Anything can happen in terms of this podium.
And if you like a bet, it's Winks odds for Waters to have a crack at Mostert, because Cam Waters all day, they've battled since lap 1. And at the point of the race right now, Waters has got nothing to lose. He will have a serious crack at Chaz Mostert, there's no doubt.
Tension in the garages at the extreme level. Sam Potter, engineer for Cam Waters.
Still wet.
Ryan Walkinshaw, the owner of Walkinshaw Andretti United, a co-owner together with Zach Brown and Michael Andretti. And it still looks pretty ordinary out there towards the southeast. The wipers on Cam's car. Parts of the racetrack are dry, other parts are partially wet, others are quite wet. How do you play that game? It's all about the feel in the seat of your pants, tips of your fingers, tippy toe off your toes to be able to understand how to get the most out of your Dunlop tyre that's well worn on a greasy track with 1.5 tons wanting to get away from you and throw you into a concrete wall.
And these are the two best proponents, or two of the best we've ever seen. These guys are the best. When it's like this, when the inclement conditions and the grip level is weird, they always optimise it. Don't we get down there? He had to. He had to move it. Mostert, he knew he was going to be drilled.
Change for the lead. But does Mozzie come back down the inside? He argues the case on the run to turn 3. Cam Waters has taken the lead at race number 13 in greasy conditions down the inside at turn 2. That's an eyeful of Mostert's car back into position number 2 now. Is Waters going to be able to keep this pace up and open the margin?
And what it does, it makes Cam Waters the pioneer for the conditions. Previously, Mostert was down the inside, he looks. Can he get down there? It almost forces Waters slightly wide at 7 and 8. This is the wild spot, because this corner's fast.
Brown on Randall for 3rd. Keep an eye in the background, because this could change in a heartbeat. Here he comes, under brakes down here at turn 11. Will Brown's now on the podium. What a drive this afternoon. Thomas Randall argues the case back out the other side. He's almost cleared him by the time he's put power to the road. Battle up the front, Waters v Mostert. Battle for position number 3 involves Brown v Randall. This is an epic race in Townsville this afternoon with now 6 laps remaining.
So now Waters has got to read the conditions. When you're the lead person, when it's like this, you don't know how much grip you've got at the next corner. As Randall has a plunge down the inside, across the painted lines, and now Will Brown tries to turn back, and contact! That was close to going in the fence.
No. Unbelievable exchange between Thomas and Will between 2 and 3. And you're about to see 1 lap to go. What an afternoon of motorsport. And bar a mistake, it's done. So last lap 17.2 for Cam Waters, 17.4 for Chaz Mostert, 17 flat for Will Brown. Margin across the top, 4.5 seconds, and have a go at this. Still an epic battle all the way to the end for Randall, LeBrock and Feeney. A lot to play for here, valuable points, and Brock's well aware of that. He's 2nd in the championship. Back to our leader, who's actually now well opened that gap. All the pressure is off. Half a lap remaining. He's flicking the lights to Nick Percat, who copped damage in the opening lap. This has been a magical drive today from Cam Waters, and a consolidation of the brilliance that we saw in practice from Tickford and Waters and the monster car in Friday practice 1 and 2, earlier today in quali, and then in the top 10 shootout, and then in a gigantic battle checkered flag. 1 corner now remains. Out of the final corner. 88 laps in the bank, and this has been a magical drive by Cam Waters today to take a stunning victory in Townsville and to move his career tally on to win number 13.
I ran at P6 all time, I ran at P6. Good job, mate. Awesome. That was epic, mate. Great job.
That was a great job. Play everybody down there.